viewers, welcome to the circus. Now, today, we're going to be talking about the man, the myth, the legend that inspired Welcome to the Circus. You know, those were his words, and that is Shane Dawson. And Shane Dawson is now... Can we keep saying Shane Dawson has returned to social media whenever he does it, like, every month? I don't know. Let me know what your opinion is of that. But anyway, Shane Dawson is now back on social media after another break. So what I mean by that was it's been a couple months since the last time we've heard anything from Shane. Now he is back posting on his Instagram story. He is updating us on his life, and he also did, like, a really big statement in terms of awareness for something we're going to get to in a second. Now, super interesting, again, with Shane, super mixed review. And people are just, like, if you're gonna come back, come back. Other people are like, if you're gonna come back, here's the steps you take for you to be able to come back, as in addressing certain things. Because, again, with Shane, it's like, there is such a hole that's been left between things not being addressed, things not being taken seriously, and it's like, okay, if you want to come back, like a lot of people who genuinely support Shane don't feel comfortable doing that until certain things are addressed. And now we know that Shane is probably celebrating because D'Angelo Wallace deleted the video on him, which was kind of like all the evidence against Shane compiled. You know, that's been deleted. Shane is probably really happy right now because, you know, that's not there anymore, and that was a big final nail in the coffin of the cancellation. Now again, I've said it time and time again, when Shane comes back, Shane is going to be fine. He's going to have millions of views, and people are going to be there to support him. It's just this in-between period of posting on his Instagram story and just different things that to me personally is really weird, because it's like, what's the aim here? You know what I mean? But with that being said, we're just going to read out the different things that he's been saying. We know that recently Ryland, who is his fiance, has been posting different things on his behalf recently, you know, updating us on him. Maybe he's seen in the background of videos. So it's interesting again that Shane is now posting for himself again. So the first one was this, and then we're going to get the one that he just posted like yesterday or the day before. He said, if you've been, so this was out of nowhere, by the way, this literally just came like that. If you've been asking for a sign, this is it. The world would be a sadder place without you in it. You aren't alone even when you feel the most isolated. Someone is always watching over you and sending you messages. If you don't believe in that stuff, that's okay. Messages can come from the people in your life too. Life is so short and there's so much left for you to do. There's so many interesting people for you to meet. There's so many animals for you to wave at. There's so many uncomfortable... I'm not gonna make a cat joke. I won't. It's too serious. No, I won't make a cat joke. Sorry. Continuing on. There's so many animals for you to wave at. There's so many uncomfortable laughs for you to share with that one friend who always takes it too far. I know we probably don't know each other and you might think this is a bunch of BS. But if that's the case, this is the sign that this is definitely for you. Cause I haven't posted on Instagram in a long effing time, and something told me to post this. And I did. Just for you. Okay, so this is the first one. And then a picture of Cheeto. If I can't make a cat joke, neither can you. Come on. So here we have Cheeto, his lover, cat, and he just said, here is the National SUICIDE Prevention Lifeline in case you need to talk. It's 24/7, so it is 800-273-8255. And Cheeto, which looks like a grown-up version of My Little Kitty Tyler. So he had posted that, and then now we have this new life update for Shane. And he, at the end, talks about being offline and the reason for that and him coming back, whatever like this. So we're just going to get to it. Then I'm going to give you like a little bit of insight on what people are talking about behind the scenes, also with what he's saying. So he just posted this and it says, entering my new phase in life. RV person. So there we see him, and I thought this was a private jet when I initially saw it, but it's an RV, which is like a little van. So then he said, why is this me as an RV? I don't know what that means, but it's him as an RV. And then he scribbled out hurricane, and it says, her Shane. Get it? Because it's him as a RV. Seems like the humor never progressed past 2018, did it, Shane? Then he said, just renting it, by the way, taking my time transforming, into an RV person. Baby steps. And again, here's the RV. So, then we have this. It's a picture of, like, a little bear, which is actually really cool. Like, really cool. There's shops like this in Brighton that do these, and I really want one. And then it's a little book, and it says, also, I had a hard week, and I woke up to this. And then now, we have him saying this. I know that I'm still pretty inactive on social media. It's just because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in life, you know, and what makes me really happy. I'm in a really pretty good place mentally after a long time struggling, so I don't want to have a backslide. But I promise at some point I'll be a more present person on here and more open about stuff. Hope you guys all have a really good weekend. So then that update on obviously where he's at right now. So from this, I do want to let you know that a lot of people have been messaging me and a lot of people have been messaging among themselves. And also, without saying who, but you all know who, a really big creator messaged me in relation to Shane's plans coming up. We know who I'm talking about. And they basically said that yes, it's happening very soon. So, putting that with, you know, Shane saying that, you know, hopefully he can come back soon or whatever, it's a bit confusing to me, and I do want to relay that information to you because it kind of lets you know where I'm at right now. There is some talk, it's all alleged, we don't know if it's true, that Shane will be coming back in summer. The plans for that, I've been hearing mixed things, so I don't really want to put it down as one. Keep in mind, people were talking about the fact that a wedding video and a wedding documentary was coming. It could still be that. People were pretty confident in saying that. However, a lot of people are really agreeing with the fact that it's going to be a couple videos less than what we're used to, talking about Shane's growth as a person and how the last year has been on him. And then in the midst of that, the end of that is transitioning into the wedding. Now, again, all I can tell you is that someone and people have told me that. In my opinion, very reliable people, but again, I'm just going to say alleged because from Shane's post, it's like he doesn't even know when he's coming back. So from that, you know, how can I trust anyone else in what they're saying? However, I do think Shane personally will be back very soon. I think it's inevitable that we're going to go down that route. How that is responded to, only time will tell. I do think there will be that core audience that's always still there for Shane, which is to be expected after anyone gets cancelled or whatever like that. Now keep in mind, about the cancellation, people were like, you know, Shane got cancelled way more than anyone else. Let me tell you something about cancellations, boss babes. Cancellations work if the person allows it to work. Jeffree Star got cancelled at the same rate as Shane, back whenever Shane did. Jeffree didn't let it affect him. He kept posting, and you know what? Jeffree is still getting videos with like millions of views. Shane, on the other hand, went away, so it allowed people to be like, why is he gone? Oh, he's gone for a reason. And it works like that. Even the worst of the worst people, like Jeffree, have just not allowed themselves to get cancelled. And at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. It's whether they go away. Because if they go away and come back, you know, hype can build, suspense can build or whatever like that. But you inevitably look like someone who's been affected by being cancelled a lot more than someone who, at the same level as cancelled, like Jeffree, as opposed to Shane. Taddy is a great example as well. Taddy is like, people are like, oh, she's so cancelled. Yeah, at the same rate as Jeffree, but she went away. Same as James Charles right now. James Charles, people are like, oh my god, he's finally cancelled. No, this has been happening for a long time. James is just now on a break. We don't know for how long. It's the same logic with Shane. I don't know when people are going to understand this concept of it's not about how much they were cancelled, it's about whether they go away. So with Shane, that's what we're seeing. It's been a year now. Well, June like 20 something, it'll be a year since things really start unraveling for Shane. And it'll be interesting if that's, you know, the time that he chooses to come back on YouTube. Shane's content, people like to say, is unpredictable. It can be very predictable. And I genuinely do believe that it is going to be around the year mark that we see him come back to social media, if not just YouTube flat out. Now, the climate of YouTube has changed a lot since Shane left, like a lot. And also, we now have Frenemies, which is a huge storm on YouTube, and we know the standing that Trish Ethan have with Shane. So I can literally just see it that Shane is coming back and frenemies are like making fun of it or trolling it or, you know, dissecting it the same way they have been with David. And that is something that can happen as well. And I want to know what your opinion is of that. So let me know and we'll talk about it below. However, he'll be fine coming back to YouTube, but I just think him going away for so long, it opened up more of a possibility for a lot more people to look into the real reason that people were angry at Shane. You know what I mean? Shane Dawson has been gone now, to put in perspective, for the exact amount of time that Jenna Marbles has been gone. I don't like comparing these two people because I think they're very different. But when I look at Jenna Marbles, I'm like, damn, she's been gone for so long. But with Shane, I don't think that. Because every couple months, Shane is updating us that he'll be back soon. Okay, come back then. Or don't. You know what I mean? I guess it's just a way of keeping his little minions, like his little Shane-inators, you know, staying for him and continuing to defend him and all. Because, you know, there is that possibility that he is coming back. And now, I know that on the inside, a lot of people have been getting tipped off on information from Shane and Morgan and Ryland, all these people directly. Obviously, we're not getting that information over here, Bessie, nor do we want it from these people, because we can get it from external people. But, you know, whenever this is starting to be said, it is the growing signs that something is happening, and something will be happening very soon. So do with that information what you will. One last time, I really do want to read this last one. I know I'm still pretty inactive on social media, but it's just because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in life. So, I don't know, this is super conflicting with the fact that people are, like, confident in saying that he's coming back in summer, you know what I mean? And what makes me really happy. I'm in a pretty good place mentally after a long time of struggling, so I just don't want to have a backslide. But I promise at some point I'll be more present on here and more open about stuff. Hope you guys have a good weekend. And also the other possibility is that Shane and Jeffrey can literally double down on people hating them together and make another series. People will watch it. And I think that is something that is very plausible. And I want to know, ending this off now, what your opinion is on what Shane's comeback on YouTube will be. Do you think it's one of the things I may have suggested? Do you think it's something else? Let's open that conversation up, because then we can say that you predicted it. Or I predicted it. Or whoever predicted it. You know what I mean? Let's open that conversation. I love you so much. Stay safe, stay happy, my mucker. And thank you for coming to the circus. Can I have your ticket back? Thank you so much. Okay, I love you. Stay well. Bye. Mwah!